We doing heyo?
What's going on, everybody? I like to keep you on your toes, Steve. I like to keep you on your toes.
Another well start to a professional series here with Doug and Steve.
The most professional. BH IoT Group presents IoT Nuggets, everybody.
Yay.
And I'm Doug Cohen from M10 Social. My illustrious co-host Steve Brummer in the middle there from BH IoT Group.
Yay.
And then we've added, once again, back to join us for part 3 to talk about Embedded Works and Helium, Mr. Andy Doe, President and CEO of Embedded Works, everybody.
Yay. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us a third time here, Andy. This has been a great series to talk about Helium and Embedded Works. And you can check out Embedded Works at embeddedworks.net if you want to find out more about that. And with that said, let's talk about some applications. We've talked about the basics. We've talked about monetization. Let's talk about some applications. I'm going to hand it off once again to you, gentlemen. Take it away.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Doug. So Andy, as Doug alluded with the summarization, talked a little bit about the basics of Helium, what it includes, all the pieces. We talked about the benefits of the network and some of the use cases that are there. But now let's talk a little bit more about actually what the applications are that are successfully being deployed on a Helium network from a LoRaWAN standpoint. And we can go rapid fire through some of these. But a couple of the ones that I wanted to bring up was obviously asset tracking. Wanted to talk about restaurants and retail scenarios because and also consumer. What's going to happen for home automation? What are people going to be able to put in their home from a sensor-based standpoint around the miners that are out there that they've already installed? So just trying to better understand smart communities, smart cities, what's happening around that. Obviously, John and I have come to you and are sitting down with you talking about, bundled solutions and packages for people within the world of LoRaWAN and Helium and working with a couple of clients that we have. So let's talk a little bit about that. So asset tracking, let's go with the first one that's off the list. Tell us about how that works. What does it include? Is it just like a regular IoT cellular solution?
It kind of is. I mean, some of the asset trackers that we sell, they're pager size and, you stick it and forget it, kind of thing. And assuming there's a Helium network that it can ping to, you will get dots on a map. And, I alluded to in previous episodes, the cost of getting that dot on a map is a fraction of the cost of cellular in some instances. So with that, you could basically have tracking what you would pay in a year would cost you in a month, type of thing, right? So it is that affordable, and it's using the LoRaWAN technology, which is phenomenal for battery life, because cellular is a battery, drain and power drain. So if that is good enough for applications like you've got a local pizza delivery, business, right? Or you got a pickup catering service or whatnot. I mean, you're not going to leave the city for the most part. So if Helium is in your city, congratulations, you now get to use that service at a fraction of the cost. And asset tracking doesn't mean just things with, on wheels. It could be anything of value. Right. Many a times have you guys seen, Steve, construction sites and things, the generators just kind of get up and leave, that type of thing. Right. Or the famous one I used to tell is the porta potty, type of thing. Right. Right. And it's not because people steal porta potties, but because, the construction sites are off to the side, people forget about it. Right. It's an asset. Right. So there's so many things that asset tracking can be stuck to. And then LoRa and Helium is a great network.
So talk a little bit about, we're talking about we have coverage in these cities. Yeah. So is this a smart community, smart building, smart city type of program that could work?
It can be, because In the LoRaWAN ecosystem of toys or sensors, I say, I mean, there's hundreds of sensors. I mean, we've got sensors from your mundane temperature, humidity. We even have a wireless mousetrap, if you can believe that. Someone built a better mousetrap, and it will alert you when a rodent gets caught, because you might forget about it. So, yeah. So yes, it can be a smart building, smart city. In fact, myself living here in Silicon Valley, our own mayor just announced that Helium, the miners, will be deployed throughout the city. And first I was scratching my head, like, why in the world would San Jose care about mining? Well, they basically spun it in such a way where we're going to mine, and those credits, or the coin, the H&T coin that we receive, will be put back into a fund to help disenfranchised and low-income families to help pay for their internet. Very feel-good type of stuff, but it has this ecosystem. And guess what? They populate these miners so the city can even use it for themselves. If they wanted to have, coverage or technology like we have waste bin level, monitoring to know that a garbage can or waste bin is full. Well, you have those sensors. It's on the LoRaWAN to Helium, so it's kind of a very symbiotic kind of technology and network they're in. So it was interesting that cities are getting involved in mining now.
What about some of the verticals like retail and restaurants? I mean, we've been doing restaurants for a while. Applications have been around the refrigerator and the freezer and leak detectors and door motion sensors, people counting sensors, air quality now. Is that the same application running on a Helium?
Sure is. Yeah. I mean, in our portfolio or our LoRaWAN bag, I mean, we have, let's say, for a restaurant, we have sensors that can tell you how many times you close and open the walk-in refrigerator, right? And let's say you're closed on a Monday and your cooler goes out. Well, who wants spoiled filet mignon the next day? I mean, that's a value asset. You need to know that that your refrigerator just went out. So any and all analytics that you can help make your restaurant or your retail establishment smart. And when I say smart, I mean, being able to grab that data and check it on your phone to know what's going on. That's going to help you either make money or save money, right? So I really think that retail and restaurants are starting to use technology more and more to keep kind of a lean, mean, operating machine.
And then the last one that I wanted to bring up is the consumer. Since this Helium world was started by at-home people that were getting miners, and that's still the majority of the locations at our individual homes, what can we push to them in order to utilize their miners for in-home automation products other than video?
Well, the one IoT application that keeps rearing its head over and over again through the years is Pet Tracker, for example, right? And I even had a friend tell me, "Hey, can I stick one of your Helium miners on my dog so I know, how many times it's gone out and back to do its business?" I said, "Yeah, I guess so, if your dog doesn't mind it." So you can certainly have all sorts of application, and at the end of the day, you need these technologies to help you make informed decisions. And I think from a consumer perspective, personally, there's going to be a resurgence of people using the Helium network because, frankly, they're all miners and they got to eat their own dog food, right? I'm a miner, but what am I going to do with it? It'd be cool to actually see it, being used. So if you take a tracker and you put it on your child to, that walks to school or whatever, in a way, you're adding the personal safety kind of element to it, but you're also using it. And if it happens to use through your miner, good for you. You're getting paid on that, or your neighbors, but in a way, it's helping thy neighbor, right? Mine. So there are all sorts of applications for sure.
Yeah, and I still think it's the traditional ones like the hot water heater leak detector and the garage door opener, like you and I have been talking about, and the motion sensors and the doors and windows sensors. This is still a self-managed security program for home automation without the video, but a hell of a lot less expensive. And it's from an overall standpoint, like you said, easy to deploy. This is a simple way of being able to go with. You don't have to worry about different platforms and different compatible products and everything else. It's all here. So I think that's fantastic. So, all right. Well, we've come to the end of episode 3, Andy, and I appreciate it. And
good fun. Thank you for having me.
We'll go for the next round. So, Doug, back to you.
Thank you very much, Steve. Once again, fascinating stuff. I wonder if you could put a tracker on the dog's tail to see if the dog ever catches it.
Well, you go first and let us know.
Yeah, you invest your wife's money, Doug. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think I'll do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, fascinating stuff once again. And thanks everybody for tuning in to IoT Nuggets. BHIOTgroup.com is the website for BHIOT Group if you want to connect with Steve and John Hubler and the rest of the team there to talk about your IoT deployment. EmbeddedWorks.net is the website for Andy Doe if you want to find out more about Embedded Works. And if you have a company or you're a subject matter expert when it comes to IoT and you want to come on the show and be a guest, we would love to have you. So reach out and let us know and join us next time. We hope that, Andy, we hope you'll join us again. We're really, I think we're cranking along on this series for Helium and Embedded Works, and it's been really good.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Thanks, guys.
Excellent. Thanks
For joining. See you, everybody.
Bye.